Liam was born on a rainy spring night. His sister Lena remembered it well even though she had only been 6 years old. The house had been filled with nervous energy. Their mom had gone to the hospital in a rush. When she came home with Liam wrapped in a soft blue blanket, everything seemed perfect. But it didn't stay that way. As Liam grew, everyone started to notice something was different. He didn't walk like other kids. One of his legs was shorter, and he had to wear a special shoe with a lift. His steps were uneven, and sometimes he stumbled. The doctor said he had a condition from birth, something that couldn't be fully fixed, even with surgery. At first, Lena thought it didn't matter. Liam was sweet and funny. He laughed at her jokes and loved to build forts out of pillows. But their parents, especially their father, started acting differently around him. "He'll never be like the other boys," Lena once overheard her dad say. Her mother didn't say much. She just sighed a lot and stopped taking Liam out in public. At family events, they left him at home with a babysitter. When visitors came over, Liam was told to stay in his room. Lena felt confused. She loved her brother. She didn't understand why her parents seemed embarrassed by him. He was smart and he tried so hard at everything. But no matter what he did, it wasn't good enough. Their dad wanted a son who could play baseball and run fast. Liam couldn't do those things, so he stopped trying. He stopped talking much too. He started to walk with his head down, even when no one said anything. Lena watched it all happen, and she felt something heavy in her chest. Guilt, maybe. Or sadness. She wanted to say something, to defend him. But she was just a kid. What could she do? Sometimes she would sneak into Liam's room at night and read him stories. He would smile and whisper "thank you" before falling asleep. She held on to those moments, even when everything else in the house felt cold. By the time Liam turned 10, things at home had gotten worse. He still walked with a limp, though he had learned to move quickly when he needed to. He was smart in school and loved science, especially space. He wanted to be an astronaut, but his father just laughed. "An astronaut?" he scoffed. "You can't even run straight." Lena had never seen Liam cry in front of their father, but she had heard the quiet sniffles in the dark, from behind his bedroom door. Their mom didn't speak up either. She always said, "Your father's just tired," or "he doesn't mean it." But Lena could tell Liam was starting to believe the words. He stopped talking about his dreams. He stopped asking their parents to come to school plays or science fairs. When his leg hurt, he said nothing. He just limped harder. One day their father came home angry after work. Liam had dropped a glass of water on the floor. It wasn't even a big mess, but their father exploded.
"I can't take this anymore,"
he shouted. "We can't keep doing this, pretending this is normal." Liam stood there frozen. He didn't argue. He didn't cry. He just looked small. A week later, the decision was made. Liam was being sent to live with Uncle Ray, their dad's older brother. The reason given was that Uncle Ray lived in a quieter town and could handle Liam better. Lena knew the truth. They were sending Liam away because they didn't want him anymore. The night before Liam left, Lena slipped into his room. He was sitting on the bed with his small suitcase, quietly folding a few shirts.
"Are you okay?"
she asked. He looked up and gave her a tiny smile.
"I'm used to it,"
he said. That broke her heart. She hugged him tightly and didn't let go for a long time. "I'll write you."
"I promise."
He nodded.
"Thanks for always being nice to me."
The next morning, Uncle Ray came to pick him up. Liam didn't cry. He climbed into the car, gave one last look at the house, and left. Lena stood by the window, watching the car disappear down the street. She didn't say goodbye to her parents. She didn't want to speak to them at all. The house felt empty after that, but not because Liam was gone. It felt empty because love had left with him. After Liam left, the house was too quiet. It wasn't that Liam had made a lot of noise. He had always been soft-spoken. But somehow, without him, everything felt colder, like the walls had pulled away from each other. Like the warmth had been shut out along with him. Lena noticed it most at night. There were no footsteps padding down the hallway. No soft knock on her door, asking if he could borrow a book. No quiet laughs during bedtime stories. Just silence. Her parents went on like nothing had happened. Her father whistled while reading the newspaper. Her mother cleaned the house as if scrubbing out a memory. They didn't mention Liam. Not once. It was like he never existed. At first, Lena tried to talk about him. Do you think Liam likes it at Uncle Ray's? She asked one day at dinner. Her mother looked down at her plate. Her father kept chewing and said, "We don't need to bring that up." After that, Lena kept her questions to herself. She wrote letters to Liam. Long ones. She told him about school, the cat next door, and the books they used to read. But she never got a reply. She didn't even know if he received them. Still, she kept writing. Lena didn't tell her friends what happened. She was too ashamed. They thought Liam was at a special school or on a long trip. She let them believe it. At night she lay in bed wondering if Liam was okay. If he missed her, if he was happy. She imagined him sitting in a quiet room, reading, maybe even smiling. She hoped Uncle Ray was kind. Sometimes, Lena would walk into his old room. It still had his blanket, his favorite toy spaceship on the shelf, and the little nightlight he never wanted to give up. She sat there trying to feel close to him. But it wasn't the same. Lena was learning something hard and painful, that silence could be louder than any shout. And that missing someone could feel like a hole that never quite closed. Lena didn't hear anything about Liam for a long time. Years passed and her parents still never brought up his name. But sometimes, when she looked out the window or passed by his empty room, she imagined where he might be. She pictured him older, taller, maybe walking with more confidence. What she didn't know was that Liam had started building a whole new life. Uncle Ray, the man who took him in, was not like their father. He was quiet but kind. He didn't look at Liam with pity or disappointment. He treated him like a person, not a problem. For the first time, Liam didn't feel like he had to hide who he was. Uncle Ray didn't make a big deal about Liam's limp. He just gave him tools to help around the house, showed him how to work on small projects, and let him try things without judgment. When Liam stumbled, Uncle Ray waited. When Liam succeeded, he smiled. It was simple, but it meant everything. In his new town, Liam started school again. It wasn't easy, some kids still stared or asked rude questions, but it was different. There were teachers who helped and classmates who saw past his limp. One teacher, Miss Benton, noticed how much Liam loved space and science. She gave him extra books and told him, "You're going to do something amazing one day." Those words stayed with him. As he got older, Liam joined a group at school for kids with physical disabilities. They did teamwork games, told their stories, and helped each other feel strong. For the first time in his life, Liam felt proud of who he was. By the time he turned 18, Liam had made a big decision. He wanted to join the military, not to fight, but to serve in a way that mattered. There was a special program in the support corps for people like him, people with strong minds and brave hearts, even if their bodies were different. He signed up and passed the tests. It was hard. The training pushed him to the edge. But Liam didn't give up. He had already survived worse. Each time he felt like quitting, he remembered his father's words. "You'll never be like the other boys." And then he'd push harder, just to prove he already was. Maybe even more. Liam's days in training were long and difficult. He wasn't the fastest, and he wasn't the strongest, but no one could deny how hard he worked. The other recruits noticed that about him. At first, some looked at him the way people always had. With doubt, but after a few weeks, things started to change. One morning, during a heavy storm, their unit had to carry gear across a muddy trail. It was slippery, and more than one recruit fell behind. But Liam kept moving. His steps were uneven, his legs stiff and sore, but he never stopped. He helped 2 others who had tripped. He reached the finish soaked, shaking, but standing tall. After that day, the others began to respect him. They didn't see a boy with a limp anymore. They saw a leader. A few months later, one of the commanding officers, Captain Torres, pulled Liam aside. "You've got something most people don't," he said. "You don't quit, you don't complain, you lift others up, even when no one's lifting you." Liam didn't know what to say, but he never forgot those words. Captain Torres encouraged him to apply for a junior leadership program. Liam was nervous, but he did it. He passed the interview. He passed the written test, and just like that, he was promoted. He wore his new uniform with pride, not because of the stripes on his sleeve, but because of what they meant. He had earned them, step by painful step. Years passed. Liam grew into a strong, steady man. His legs still gave him trouble sometimes, but he had learned how to work with it, not against it. He never saw it as a weakness anymore. It was just part of him, like his voice, his heart, his name. Then one day, his new assignment came through. He would be stationed in a city not far from where he was born. A familiar place. One he hadn't seen in years. Liam stared at the address. The name of the town felt heavy on the page. He could have asked to switch. No one would have blamed him, but he didn't. Instead, he packed his bags, stood up straight, and smiled to himself. It was time to go home, not as the boy they had sent away, but as the man they never expected to see again. The knock on the door came on a Sunday afternoon. Lena was home from college for the weekend, helping her mom prepare dinner. Her father was watching the news, barely paying attention. The house felt the same as always, quiet, stiff, full of things left unsaid. When the knock came again, Lena set down the knife she was using and walked toward the door. Her mom didn't move, just wiped her hands on a towel, eyes darting toward the hallway. Lena opened the door. Standing on the front step was a tall man in a military uniform. His posture was straight, shoulders strong. The fabric of his jacket was clean and pressed. There were patches on his chest and sleeves. His boots were polished. He didn't speak at first. Just stood there, looking into the house, like it held ghosts. Lena blinked, confused. Then she looked at his face. Her breath caught in her throat. It was Liam, older, sharper around the eyes. Stronger in his build, but his face, those same eyes, the same curve of his mouth, hadn't changed. She stepped back, her heart racing. "Liam," she whispered, not trusting her voice. He gave a small smile. "Hi, Lena." She launched forward and hugged him so tightly he nearly lost his balance. She didn't care. Tears spilled down her cheeks before she even realized she was crying. Her parents came to the doorway slowly. Her mother stopped in her tracks. Her father's face went pale. They didn't say anything. Liam stood up straight again, not flinching under their stares. "I was stationed nearby," he said simply. "Thought I'd visit, it's been a while." His father opened his mouth, then closed it. His mother placed a hand on her chest. Neither moved. Lena broke the silence. "Come in, please." Liam stepped inside. His boots thudded softly against the floor. He looked around the living room. It was just as he remembered, same couch, same photos, but not one with him in them. Lena led him to the table. "Sit," she said. Her voice trembled with emotion. He did. Their parents slowly joined, unsure, awkward. For a moment no one spoke. Then Liam looked at them calmly. "I'm not here to cause trouble," he said. "I just wanted you to know I'm doing okay." His mother nodded slowly, eyes still wide. His father shifted in his seat, but said nothing. Lena sat beside him and reached for his hand. He squeezed it gently. He didn't need to say anything else. Just being there, dressed in strength, standing tall, said more than any words ever could. Dinner was quiet, with only the sound of silverware clinking on plates. Liam ate calmly, his back straight, his uniform still perfect. Lena sat next to him, barely touching her food. Her eyes stayed on her parents, waiting for them to say something, anything. Their mom finally spoke. "You look well," she said. Voice thin. Liam gave a polite nod. "Thank you." Their father didn't look up. "So you joined the military," he muttered, like it was just a passing fact. "I did," Liam replied. "I serve in the support corps, logistics and emergency response." His father gave a short nod, not meeting Liam's eyes. "Didn't think they'd take someone with your condition." Lena's stomach turned. "Dad," she said sharply. Liam didn't flinch. "They did. Turns out, strength isn't just about running fast." His voice was even, but Lena could hear the weight behind the words. Her mother cleared her throat. "We didn't know where you were. You never wrote. I didn't think you wanted to know." Liam said simply. No anger, no blame. Just the truth. Silence followed. Lena couldn't take it anymore. You sent him away, she said, her voice shaking. You never talked about him again. You acted like he didn't exist. Her father stood up. That's enough. No, Lena said. It's not, but before she could say more, Liam gently touched her arm. It's okay, Lena. She turned to him, her face full of tears. No, it's not. He looked at their parents. I didn't come here for revenge. I came to show you who I became. Not because of you, but in spite of everything. His father said nothing. His mother blinked fast, like trying to keep tears from falling. I'm proud of who I am, Liam said. And I just wanted you to see that. He stood up from the table, calm and steady. That's all. Lena stood with him. Her heart was heavy, but also full of something else, pride. Her brother wasn't weak, he wasn't broken. He was the strongest person in the room. As they walked toward the door, Liam didn't look back. He didn't need their approval anymore. He had already proven everything. Outside, the sky was soft with evening light. A gentle breeze moved through the trees as Liam and Lena stepped off the porch. They didn't speak right away. Lena walked beside her brother, glancing over at him with awe. In her eyes he looked like someone out of a story, like a hero returned from a long journey. And in a way he was. After a few minutes, she asked quietly, Are you okay? Liam smiled. I am now. They stopped at the edge of the street, where Liam's car was parked. It was clean and neat, like everything else about him. He opened the door, but didn't get in right away. I used to wonder if I'd ever come back, he said. And if I did, what I'd feel. And? Lena asked. He looked back at the house, then shook his head. I don't feel angry anymore. Just free. Lena nodded. I'm glad you came. They needed to see who you really are. They didn't see it before, he said gently. I don't think they ever could. She looked down at the ground. I'm sorry I didn't do more back then. Liam touched her shoulder. You did more than anyone, Lena. You were the only one who saw me. Tears filled her eyes again, but this time they were warm, not bitter. She smiled through them. You're incredible, she whispered. He smiled back. I just didn't give up. With a soft breath, Liam looked up at the sky. The clouds were glowing pink and gold in the setting sun. You know, he said. I used to think my limp would always be the first thing people saw. And now? Lena asked. Now I know it's just one part of me, he said. And the rest of me is strong. He got into the car, but before closing the door, he turned to her. Thank you for never forgetting me. I never could, she said. Liam nodded, started the engine, and pulled away slowly. Lena stood there for a long time, watching until the car disappeared around the corner. She turned back toward the house, feeling something shift in her chest. It wasn't just sadness or regret anymore. It was hope. Liam had come back not to fix the past, but to prove that it didn't define him. He had been cast aside, forgotten, and doubted. But he had risen above it all. And Lena knew the truth now, what she had always believed, deep down. Her brother, the one everyone had underestimated, was the strongest one of them all. If this story moved you, don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts or personal experiences, and subscribe for more powerful stories about resilience, identity, and overcoming bias. Your support helps these voices be heard.